That are you?
Oh my God!
Okay, you want to go to Disney Park?
He does not
You want to go to Disney
He does
Park?
not deserve to go to
Ah.
He is taking the abs. Hey, that's 1 hour of work. He literally.
Not even that. Maybe.
Just like you should, my back, my my back, my do it good, just like you should. You guys can't see, but
Now that you're done with your performance, I will spill this tea all over you.
No, you won't. Spill the tea. Go
I
on.
feel like
Spill the tea. What's the juice? I just had a shower.
exactly.
You gonna get me dirty without my permission? That's non-consensual. Ow! I'm not dry, you see. Try to draw me out. Stop, man.
Anyways, pretty focus, man. You're making us waste time.
Touch me, man.
Unorthodox reactions, unorthodox
intros.
intros. Welcome back, guys,
to
another
another
unorthodox reaction.
This time we are reacting to...
This.
Nice.
That's right.
Yep.
The Infographics show. It's been a while since we reacted to the Infographics show.
Death Row Prisoners. Most bizarre last requests. I'm reading because
Personally,
it's not very good.
Don't care what the last requests are.
Well, I do because basically, yeah. What would your last?
Because if you're
meal
gonna
be?
die,
What would your last request?
I don't think it matters much what you eat last.
No, I say
I don't. I need evidence that I'll remember my last meal after I die before I really care about it.
You won't remember.
Exactly. So why does it matter?
It's about enjoying every moment you have, right?
I mean, at that point, I'm just like, can we just get it over with?
No.
Yes.
Listen, I think they should have a day where they just allow them to do anything. Like, literally, they go, not like kill people again. No. Not like that. No. Like, just a field day. Like, you know, go to like Alton Towers or something. That's British for you.
The houses in the little amusement park.
Yeah, go to amusement Disneyland. Everyone knows Disneyland.
Why?
They wouldn't go to Disneyland.
First of all,
just an example.
Yeah, but first of all, that's just a waste of reason.
No.
For someone that's gonna die, like possibly the next day.
It's not spending money. No one spends money.
Spending money.
No.
The amusement park is losing money.
No, they're not.
Or wherever they go is losing money. And the people who
don't lose money. If
the security guards that they're allotting to them.
Yeah.
That's a waste of resource and money.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. They could be freaking allocated somewhere else where it would be more beneficial.
Security guards would be at the prison anyways, just guarding the whatever anyways. So that way you allow those security guards to go have a fun day as well.
Yeah, and who's gonna be their guard in prisons?
The other security guards.
Which do you know? They normally have a standing amount of security guards number that they need to have in that prison.
Yeah.
Meaning they're gonna have to bring more security guards in.
Yeah.
So that's a waste of resources and money. Like I just said.
Fine though. It's fine because you go out with a bang, big bang. Bish bash.
I feel like they're gonna be going out anyway.
Hey yo! No, I think they should go to amusement park. Oh, we're wasting bedtime. Let's get into it. We might not watch the whole thing. Depends how we go.
Yeah.
Strapped to a gurney, about to be given a lethal injection of drugs. A convicted.
Well, thank you guys. That's
It reminds me of that freaking what was it yesterday that we watched the other one's out video where he was like, whenever you watch a video of like top 10
Yeah.
and then the intro starts playing and you're like, get into it, bro. I'm like
Killer is not a happy man at all. Not because of his impending doom, but because he didn't get what he asked for. In his last words, he made that clear, saying, I did not get my SpaghettiOs. I got spaghetti. I want the press to know this. And if you think that's bizarre, by the time the show's ended, you'll have scratched your head so much there will be a bald spot. We're not finished with the SpaghettiOs guy just yet. His name was Thomas J. Grasso.
I'm getting started
In
early.
1990, he entered an 87-year-old woman's house and strangled her, taking $8 from her purse and picking up coins, which got another.
Are you?
Oh my God!
Okay, you want to go to Disney Park?
He does not deserve to go to He is taking the abs. Hey, that's 1 hour of work. He literally.
Not even that. Maybe.
No, you get more than £8.
No, because I think $8 is like translated to pounds, that's less than £8.
Yeah.
So it's not even that for us.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
But
what I'm
still,
saying.
like, come on, man. You can't kill a woman for $8, man.
That's
You gotta do better.
ridiculous.
Yeah, nah, he's done for.
$4. He also took her old TV.
Which probably sold for like £10.
Big deal about his upcoming date with a cocktail of life-ending drugs. Once saying philosophically, "What we call the beginning is often the end, and to make an end is to make a beginning. The end is where we start from." It wasn't done. Just 3 hours before his execution, he submitted a poem to anyone interested. It was titled "A Visit with Mystery." Here are a few lines from it. "The warden will read my last creed, and the deadly brew will flow, as the poison drips into my veins, and from my body life does drain." Not only did he lay it on heavy regarding his life's end, but he also made a meal out of his last meal. He ordered 24 steamed mussels, 24 steamed clams, and with lemon wedges too, of course. For the main course, he asked for a Burger King double cheeseburger, a stack of barbecue ribs, pumpkin pie with
Did he finish all this is my question.
I don't know.
He also asked for SpaghettiOs. As you know, Mr.
Because I imagine he just took like one bite of each and is like, I'm done.
No, I would eat it.
Yeah, but like, I don't imagine he can finish all this.
Why?
And that's a lot to finish.
You know what? It's crazy though, because you know what it would feel like to him? Because you'd eat everything. And you know when itis hits, like you get tired after you're so full. So that's what
You'd
he
be
would
like,
feel like.
if only I don't wake up after it.
Yeah, you'll be on the bed thinking, oh, that food's gonna put me straight to sleep. And as he just falls asleep, I'm like, oh, so full. And then that's when he dies. That's a good ending.
That's not how it works.
That is how it works.
That's not how it works. I'm pretty sure they have their last meal and then maybe like a week later.
No.
Or like the very next day. No, it's not the same day.
It is.
It's never the same day.
I'm pretty sure it is.
It's not the same day.
Search it.
I'll search it. Give us a moment, guys.
Golly.
We agree to disagree.
Nah, I'm very
Mr.
annoyed.
Grasso left his life feeling rather down. The next man got what he wanted, although what a small and strange request it was. His name was Victor Harry Fugger. In 1960, he was sitting in his rundown room in Iowa when he took out the yellow pages and started going down the list of local physicians. The first doctor that answered the phone was Dr. Edward Bartles. He was later found in a cornfield with a bullet hole in his head. It's believed Fugger wanted the doctor's drugs. On March 15, 1963, he had one last request before being hanged. All he wanted was a solitary olive, but importantly, he wanted it with the pip left in. After he was hanged, that olive was inside the pocket of his new suit that had been bought for him. Apparently, Fugger said that he wanted the olive to grow into an olive tree, which was a sign of peace. This next person had a last request that was also
Yeah, that
symbolic.
didn't happen, did it?
That's why he wanted to be
Definitely
buried with the olive.
Yeah, but how's that gonna grow in a coffin?
No, but like, okay, but wait, did he assume they're gonna bury him in his prison clothes?
No, he was wearing a suit. The suit that you wear in your...
What? They're allowed to do that? Like,
They bury
wear
you in
the
a
suit
suit.
that you're gonna bury? To be buried
No.
in?
He said that he put the olive in the suit pocket that was bought for him to be buried in.
I thought he meant he
But
put it in
if
the
he's buried,
pocket of the suit he's wearing.
if he's buried in a coffin, how is the olive tree gonna grow in a coffin?
I don't think he thought it through.
Yeah, clearly.
Or maybe he didn't want to be buried in a coffin and just throw my body in.
Yeah, and then water me and give me sunlight as well.
Nah,
so
I think
that
he
this
just
olive...
expected nature to take care of that.
Okay, cool.
Rather than ask for peace, he wanted something out of this world.
Right.
He wanted the olive to grow into an olive tree, which was a sign of peace. This next person had a last request that was also symbolic. But rather than ask for peace, he wanted something out of this world. His name was James Edward Smith. On March 7th, 1983, he walked into the Union Life Insurance Company in Houston wearing a mask. He demanded money from a clerk, but after she got scared, one of the executives at the company, Larry D. Roas, talked to Smith. He actually handed over the money to Smith, but even though he was pleading for his life, Smith shot and killed him. After being tackled by a number of
You want him to go to
bystanders, Smith
Disneyland,
didn't
yeah?
get as far as the street. His final request was for a piece of dirt, but he wanted a special kind of dirt, what he called Rehikunda dirt. That's because he practiced voodoo, and he believed if he marked his body with this special dirt, he could move on to the next life. He once did an interview. "I don't understand all this clinging to life. Life is a temporary situation. The spirit moves on. Death is like eating a prune in the morning. It's a natural function." He didn't get his dirt
Is that
in the end,
point?
and instead he had to make do with a pot of yogurt. We doubt he smothered his body with it. The next person wasn't interested in the afterlife, but he sure wanted to enjoy his last moments in the life he had. His name was Ronnie Lee Gardner.
Bro, he looks like he's up to something. Look at him.
A robbery in Salt Lake City. A year later, he tried to escape while being taken to a court hearing, and during that escape, he shot and killed another guy. He was Michael Burdell, who'd been doing pro bono work for a local church. Gardner was a crazy guy.
Disneyland, yeah.
One time he smashed the glass.
Okay, we get it.
I'm just saying, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, why would you go through all the effort?
I don't know why I thought that.
Like, sometimes being a good institution is not beneficial.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
During visiting hours, he barricaded the door. He made love to his visitor while some other inmates
Wait, what?
Then Gardner was a crazy guy, indeed. One time he smashed the glass during visiting hours and then barricaded the door. He made love to his visitor while some other inmates watched and shouted for
I
joy.
hope this is consensual.
He stabbed an inmate.
He
During that
had
So,
he made love. He didn't part with her. He made love. Yeah. So it was consensual then, but like that's crazy. All the prisoners were like, "Yeah, go ahead."
While some other inmates watched and shouted for joy. Another time, he stabbed an inmate. During that visit to the courthouse, he somehow managed to get a gun passed to him. Also found later in the courthouse was a pair of socks with a note attached to him. It read, "Here's the gun and wallet taken from the guard at the hospital. I don't want to hurt no one else. I just want to be free." He wanted to be shot himself, saying he preferred to go via firing squad. He explained, "I liked the firing squad. It's so much easier. There are no mistakes."
He's got a point.
Prior to his death, Gardner had a few requests in line with his crazy life.
Well, actually, firing squad versus a professional execution. I think professional execution would be safer. Because he says there are no mistakes, but he could get shot but not die, but just be in extreme pain from the firing squad.
Yeah, what if the firing squad are a bunch of waste men and they just aim at his legs
shot like his legs and his arms or something?
Yeah, and then
or like they shot his stomach, just not like lethally.
Yeah, didn't give him any headshots for a minute.
First, he asked if he could watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy. After that, he asked to be able to fast for 48 hours. He said the fasting was related to his spirituality and beliefs regarding the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. For the final meal, he had steak, lobster, some apple pie with vanilla ice cream, and a can of 7-Up. When asked if he had any final words, he said, "I do not." He was strapped into a metal chair and had a hood placed over his head. Sandbags were placed all around him in case the bullets flew off someplace. 5 police officers had volunteered.
Well, then actually gave him firing squad.
Rifles and flew off someplace. 5 police officers had volunteered to do the job. They all aimed their rifles at a white piece of paper placed over Gardner's heart. Standing about 25 feet away, they opened fire. One of those guns was actually loaded with a non-lethal bullet.
Is it quicker to shoot someone in the heart or in the head?
No idea, mate. Never shot anyone.
I honestly, I don't know why I asked.
Yeah. Yeah, mate.
It's just one of those things that like.
Want me to say. Yeah, so basically, when I was out in Iraq,
I don't know at what point in his life he would have been able to answer that question.
Come on.
But if someone knows, is it quicker to like?
No, don't tell us. What kind of?
I'm curious because I'm like. It seems like the head would be cooking.
Yeah, I feel like
just like instantly, just kind of
shut down.
I imagine it would be like blacking out.
Yeah.
I guess maybe not.
Should
like,
we
you
try?
might still be able to like feel pain.
I'll shoot you.
You shoot me in the heart,
of 1
and then I'll shoot you in the head.
No, I'll shoot you in the head.
Before we die, we both go on the
quickly.
How quickly?
We might write this. No, sit down quickly.
Like 8. If there's nothing written down, then assume it's a 10 because we didn't have time.
Yeah, we didn't have time to write. Okay, cool.
So the officers wouldn't know who fired the lethal shot. The authorities do this so no man had the bullet.
Wait.
About 25 feet away, they opened fire. One of those guns was actually loaded with a non-lethal bullet. So the officers wouldn't know who fired the lethal shot. The authorities do this so no man has to live with being the killer of the condemned.
Oh, so non-lethal bullet. One of it.
That's what I'm saying. So
5.
3 people who have to live with.
4.
Was it 4 or 5?
Yeah.
Is it 4?
That's 5 people. He said there was 5.
Opened fire. One of those guns was actually placed over Gardner's heart. Standing about 25 feet away, they opened fire. One of those guns was actually loaded over his head. Sandbags were placed all around him in case the bullets flew off someplace. 5 police officers had volunteered to do the job. They all aimed their rifles at a white piece of paper placed over Gardner's heart. Standing about 25 feet away, they opened fire. One of those guns was actually loaded with a non-lethal bullet.
Why 1 though?
Yeah.
Because that's still 4 lethal ones.
Yeah.
Why not just make all of them lethal and all 5 of them just sharing the misery?
So the officers wouldn't know who fired the lethal shot. The authorities do this so no man has to live with being the killer of the condemned. After the shots rang out, Gardner's head went limp, although it was hard to see the blood under his dark prison attire. A medical
That's not a good picture. Because the bullet hole is like here, and you didn't hit the heart at all.
No, they're just joking, innit?
examiner then lifted the hood, checked his vital signs, and he was pronounced dead. This next man ordered the nicest last meal you could possibly ask for. He might also have deserved to live. His name was Philip Workman. In 1981, he was 28, and he had a young child to look after. He also was afflicted with a bad cocaine habit. That led to his big mistake, walking into a Wendy's restaurant with a .45 caliber semi-automatic pistol. He ordered the staff to get down on the ground.
What?
One of the staff said she had a cramp in her leg and needed to stand. Workman told her she could get up, but this was all a ruse because that's when she hit an alarm. The cops came, and in the end, one of them was shot and killed in the car park. But was it Workman's gun that fired the fatal shot? One expert testified, "It is my professional opinion based on a reasonable degree of medical certainty that the gunshot wound to Lieutenant Ronald D. Oliver is not consistent with the type of ammunition used by Mr. Philip R. Workman. I do not believe it was Mr. Workman's gun that fired the shot that fatally wounded Lieutenant Oliver."
So who did then?
Some of the jurors who convicted him later renounced their decision. Workman always said
A
he was
bit too
innocent
late.
right up until the end. It seems there's a very good chance he was indeed an innocent man, and the officer was killed by friendly fire. Nonetheless, despite appeals and protests from the public, the day came when he was asked if he had a request for a last meal. He said he didn't actually want anything, but could a vegetarian pizza be given to a homeless person? The request was denied, so Workman said he wanted nothing. A bit of encouraging news to the sad tale is that when some members of the public heard about this, they donated thousands of dollars worth of pizza to the homeless.
You can always rely on the public to be good to marry.
That's crazy, man. See, he should have gone Disneyland, man.
I
Come on, man. Some go to Disneyland sometime.
Words to which he replied, "I've prayed to the Lord Jesus Christ not to lay charge of my death to any man." The injections were given, and just after 2 minutes, he managed to get out the words, "I commend my spirit into your hands, Lord Jesus Christ." And that was it. He was out for the count forever. Now for perhaps the biggest last meal ever ordered.
He
And
just
as
made
you'll
one
see, it became
mistake.
something that went down in U.S. history. The man's name was Lawrence Russell Brewer. Brewer was a white supremacist who, with 2 other men, executed an African-American man in 1998.
Dang.
The crime reminded people of the atrocities committed by the Ku Klux Klan. It seemed Brewer was not at all remorseful, saying just days before his death, "As far as any regrets, no, I have no regrets.
Not Disneyland
I'd
for
do
you.
it all over again,
No
to tell you the
Disneyland.
truth." His request for a final meal beggars belief. In total, he asked for a large meat lover's pizza, 2 chicken fried steaks with gravy and sliced onions, a bowl of barbecue meat, a triple cheeseburger, an omelet containing beef, peppers, onions, tomatoes, and jalapenos, 3 fajitas with plenty of filling, fried okra with ketchup, half a loaf of white bread, some Bluebell vanilla.
He can't
ice cream,
finish.
Wait, is that? Have you okra with ketchup?
I don't know.
That doesn't sound right to me.
Yeah.
Half a loaf of white bread, some Bluebell vanilla ice cream, peanut butter fudge with crushed peanuts, and a load of root beer. Given that states don't usually have a large budget for last meals, it's surprising that he was granted his request. Then when it arrived, he said he
But
wasn't.
I don't imagine they can't finish all of this. I feel like you should limit them to like a portion.
Yeah.
Cause
Or
like
price.
I guess maybe like whoever's left, they like maybe give. I don't think they'll give other inmates. Maybe they eat it
No,
themselves.
I'm not eating that.
Why not? He's not diseased. He's just a criminal
Yeah.
freaking out.
Maybe, actually, maybe.
Large budget for last meals, it's surprising that he was granted his request. Then when it
Well, I
arrived,
don't know
he
if
said
he's
he
not
wasn't
diseased,
hungry
but
anymore
I
and didn't
assume
want
he's
morsel
not.
of the calorie-heavy feast. When asked if he had any last words, he said, "Nope, I have no final statement." Some people were disgusted over Brewer's messing the state around with his last meal, and after that, the state of Texas didn't ever offer a last meal to death row inmates again.
Oh.
You wouldn't be surprised if some of
I'm moving to Texas.
Why?
Effective immediately.
Why?
Because they know how to live. I can't even say that in this joke.
The flip is wrong with this guy, bro.
But seriously though, I'm like, I feel like I understand the purpose of a last meal. Obviously, it's kind of like to just give them that one good,
Final goodbye.
final good memory or final
Yeah.
good. I don't know what's
a
the word
goodbye,
I'm looking for.
man.
Yeah, just
Eat.
that
You've
final
been eating-
goodbye, basically.
You've been eating prison food all this time, man.
Yeah.
Get some food and
like,
dip,
and then
man.
before you dip, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like this costs money, so it's like. I feel like they should limit them to a portion, and
Not really, because
I
think
think they
about it,
already do
it's
limit them to
expensive.
like
No,
a
it's expensive
budget.
to keep prisoners in prison. So when you give them the last meal, you're kind
I feel like the last meal should be. Actually, I don't think that's
what?
that's worth it. I don't think I feel like the last meal should be however much it keeps them to be in the prison for one final day.
Oh,
But I don't think that's because I don't think that's
like
a lot.
$80 or something,
Yeah.
or $90. That's a lot.
If it's okay, if it's like I was thinking it was probably like.
Probably
Actually,
more
it is
than that.
expensive to keep them in
Yeah,
prison.
it's like
isn't it?
$40K for
Oh.
one prisoner a year or something.
Yeah, that might be
So
a
it'll
bit
be
too
way
much.
more. Yeah, it'll be way more than
Too
that.
extravagant.
People we've
Yeah.
talked about so far you've never heard of. So here are a few last meals of people who don't need an introduction. The serial
Ted
killer
Bundy?
Ted Bundy.
Oh
was
my
trying to
God,
last
I
month,
did it.
But the state gave him something anyway. That was a plate of steak and eggs, some hash browns, and a cup of coffee. He ate none of it and left the coffee alone. The killer clown we've talked about.
Wait,
Why
Oh
would he
my
drink
God.
coffee? Coffee's to keep
But
him
the
up.
state gave him something anyway. That was a plate of steak and eggs, some hash browns, and a cup of coffee. He ate none.
Maybe he was hoping the coffee would help him that time. It's like coffee's supposed
Nah,
to
he
keep you
didn't
awake, right?
They just gave it to him.
Yeah, I know.
Joke,
Coffee's supposed to keep you awake, right?
State gave him something anyway. That was a plate of steak and eggs, some hash browns, and a cup of coffee. He ate none of it and left the coffee alone.
Nah.
The killer clown we've talked about many times at the Infographics show, John Wayne Gacy, did have a final meal request. He asked for 12 fried shrimp and a pound of strawberries. He also wanted a bucket of original recipe KFC with some French fries. If you didn't know, Gacy had once managed a KFC outlet. Eileen Wuornos, the first female on this list and the killer made even more notorious by the movie Monster, declined the last meal but did at the end have a cup of coffee. Now for another woman who makes the list just because her final meal was quite special. Kelly Gissendanner didn't actually commit a murder, but she was behind the killing of her husband in 1997. Apparently it was all over a life insurance policy, just before she was executed with a lethal injection.
Hey, why was this enough to land her in death row?
Probably I don't know, in a killing or
so
something.
Was she the one that planned it?
Yeah, she planned to kill him.
Okay. Because when he said she was behind it, I was kind of just thinking in the lines of like she was like a what's
No,
the word
she
that
was
they
the main
use?
mastermind.
I can't remember what it's called. She was working with the killer.
No, yeah.
My grammar's terrible, and I need it to be good.
Drugs. She sang the song Amazing Grace and said she was sorry for what she'd done. Prior to that, she wolfed out a plate of nachos with meat filling, some cheese dip with chips, and some diet lemonade. We doubt she was watching her weight, though, because the first time she was
Co-conspirator.
Oh my God, man! Play the
to
video.
be executed, she ordered another big meal. Her execution was stayed this time, but it came so close she got to make the order. That consisted of 2 Whoppers from Burger King, 2 large
see?
fries.
Yeah, I've kind
She
of
was
lost track
executed
now.
with a lethal injection of drugs. She sang the song Amazing Grace and said she was sorry for what she'd done. Prior to that, she wolfed down a plate of nachos with meat filling, some cheese dip with chips, and some diet lemonade. We doubt she was watching her weight, though, because the first time she was supposed to be executed, she ordered another big meal. Her execution was stayed this time, but it came so close she got to make the order. That consisted of 2 Whoppers from Burger King, 2 large fries, some cornbread, a large salad with eggs, cheese, and veg, all covered with a generous helping of Paul Newman buttermilk dressing. For dessert, she asked for popcorn and cherry vanilla ice cream. The last woman on this list is Velma Barfield. Over a period of years, folks around this woman would mysteriously fall gravely ill and later drop dead. Some of
Poison?
her victims included her fiancé, 2 people she cared for, and even her mother. Little did they know that when they fell sick, it was because she'd been poisoning them. So what do you think would be a fitting last meal for a woman who spiked other people's
Poison?
meals with rat poison? When she was asked what she wanted in 1984, she didn't go for anything fancy, but we think her selection is quite apt. Her choice couldn't be tampered with. That was a big bag of Cheetos
Yeah.
and a Coke. Some sources say she asked for a bag of cheese doodles, but we're sure that if that was the case, they were still air-sealed. It would seem unfair to only have Americans on this list, but there aren't many countries left that execute people. As the New York Times wrote, having a choice of a last meal is a peculiarly American fascination. And it does seem that when the government makes you bite the dust in countries such as China, you don't get to choose what you eat. The article talked about a person who'd studied US-based last meals. He said the average number of calories in the meals was 2,756, although some were over 7,000.
I don't
It's
think
not
they care
way
at
in
that
China,
point.
apparently, with some reports saying condemned Chinese prisoners got a measly bit of steamed bread that they ate with the men who were about to shoot them. Another guy
I feel like that's kind of more sadistic at that point. Why?
What the flip?
It's like asking me to make friends with the like. It's one of those scenes in movies where like they give you a pet, and then they're like, take care of this pet. This pet is your best friend. And then for your final test, they're like, yeah, kill that, kill that dog.
That's crazy, man. You really about to eat with someone who's about
That's
to shoot you.
ridiculous.
I mean, hey, you did the crime. You gotta do the time.
Like literally, as imagine like they're sitting opposite each other as they're eating, they're just staring into each other's eyes.
How's your food? Mine's good, man. How's yours?
Tomorrow, I'm gonna be shooting you.
No.
In a couple hours.
Yeah, literally.
Kidding, relax. Relax.
Freaking hell.
In a couple hours, I'm gonna be shooting you. Or he's looking at him like,
oh, what you got planned tomorrow? Oh yeah, my bad. I forgot. Never mind.
Received a large bowl of meat dumplings. According to the Washington Post, that wasn't his choice, though. Seems in Europe, back in the day, some prisoners might have had a choice. In the UK in 1879, a convicted killer got a plate of eggs and salty bacon. We imagine the most
British meal you could order.
Matthias Kneissel had a choice. That's because before his head was chopped off in 1902, he drank 6 glasses of beer. We can also tell you that it's a fact that in the Middle Ages in Germany, before a person was beheaded or broken on the wheel, they were offered copious amounts of booze. An executioner named Franz Schmidt kept a diary of his many executions and wrote that a drunk prisoner was often easier to handle.
I was gonna say.
Before Saddam Hussein was hanged in Iraq, he was offered some smokes, but turned them down.
I was gonna say.
He turned his nose up at a plate of chicken and shawarma rice, although those are just...
It's not allowed.
It seems when it comes to last meals, the U.S. is the only place really worth asking about. Now, you need to watch Man So Violent Even Other Prisoners Fear Him, or see why this man never had a choice, how they actually caught Jeffrey Dahmer. Strapped to a
Pretty good video. We ended up watching the whole thing.
Yeah, it was actually pretty interesting,
guys.
But
we quite enjoyed that. This has been Unorthodox Tesco's. We've been Unorthodox
cold
people.
Of course.
Thank you for checking in with us. If you're still watching, we appreciate
like,
you.
comment, subscribe.
We still appreciate you.
Notification bells.
And those of you asking, yes, I am bold. No.
Comment reaction suggestions below.
Yeah, I've said my.
And let us know in the comments below.
Why are you taking so long, man? They're trying to go.
I was waiting for you. I was acting as your ad lib when you were doing your outro. Peace. But let us know in the comments below what you would have for a last meal if you had the choice. Boom. I say just a single piece of
go on
of popcorn. Yeah, just a
with
piece.
Fries.
No, just popcorn.
Popcorn fries. Popcorn fries. Popcorn.
Without further ado, we'll see you on the next one in a bit.